Morning guys, I'm off for Sunday lunch today, so this video is going to be quite quick. I had a really good evening last night with just relaxing and taking a nice long bath and just chilling out really, and just reflected on everything that seems to be happening quite quickly with all this. And then this morning I had a call from a friend of mine who had watched one of the videos, and she didn't quite understand what I meant by how you see in people who you really are. But how do you learn to love who you really are if you don't like the people that you're bringing into your life? I know I'm giggling, and I shouldn't, because it was a really quite important place for where she was and her aspect of life. Because to do it is really quite simple. Okay, to actually imagine, you need to imagine that everyone that comes into your life is just a reflection of who you are. It's like a double-sided mirror, so I will reflect to the person aspects about themselves, that person will reflect aspects about me, so it's a two-way mirror. And so you're looking at yourself as well as looking at the other person. And the only way I could describe it to her is, right, okay, just imagine now you're going out for the night, and there's something about your hair you don't like. So, you know, this part of my hair I don't like, it's not right, it's not right, I don't like it, it's not sitting right, blah, blah, blah. So what do you do? What do you do if there's a part of, you know, your physical self that you don't like? And she thought for a while, and she said, well, I change it, I'll go and do my hair again, or I'll put a different style on my hair. And I said, exactly. But it's the same with what you're learning from people. If you don't like aspects of a particular person, chances are those aspects are in yourself somewhere. So when it triggers an emotion for you, say for example, someone is behaving quite badly, and they're becoming quite overexcited, and that overexcited feeling is quite frustrating for you, and you feel quite irritated. That overexcitedness could very well be within you, and you will actually become overexcited, and you've possibly experienced something where you've been reprimanded about becoming overexcited or something. It is really difficult to explain, because I want to sort of talk to you about it from a very spiritual, high vibrational level, but I know that I have to keep this one foot in and this one foot out, for people to sort of really grasp what this whole spiritual awakening stuff is about and what it's for. So she did get it. Well, I'm not sure if she did completely get it, or if she was just actually trying to sort of say, yeah, I get it, and then she's gone away and sort of really thought about it. So I got a feeling that I'd probably get a phone call later. That's what you mean, you know? So she needs to reflect on that for a little bit. But that's what it's about, really, and every interaction, and I've done this all my life, I suppose it's really nice to actually be able to fit it somewhere now, even though I'm not going to put a title to it, because I don't like these title things, and you know, everybody's sort of having to fit in a particular place, or this place, that place, or you can't be this way because you were that way, and everybody's unique, everybody's individual, and I, you know, truly do love every human being for what they have to offer. I can teach and I can learn so much from this double mirror interaction stuff that occurs between people. So doing it, if you sort of see every interaction as a reflection of you, so if you're interacting with someone and it'll trigger something within you, emotionally, that's either something that you have within you that you need to address, or is something within the other person that they need to address if they're even ready to even start looking at themselves. Some people don't even know how to love others, let alone love themselves, so it's not an easy sort of pathway, you know, that you go on. But with regards to what I was just saying, so if, for example, it's a two-way mirror, so the behaviour that triggers an emotion in you, there's likely that there's some kind of aspect of that in you. So if you don't like a particular aspect, and it makes you quite angry, and you know, there's a very high chance that there is part of that in you. And when you look within yourself, it's not really pretty, you know, when you start seeing the darker sides of who you are. It's like, it can be really quite emotional for people. It can be, you know, oh my God, I can't believe I would do that. I can't believe I'm really like that, you know. But it's in understanding, it's identifying and seeing what it is that you can change it. So when you change that within yourself, You know, you're not going to actually be attracting, and attracting is not the word really that I'm looking for. But you would have learned the lesson from that interaction that you keep getting over and over and over again with the same person. You would have learned from it, so it no longer needs to show up in your world, in your own reality of what life is about. And that is as simple as this sort of first sort of the key to all this, you know. There's steps to progress, you know, with regards to spiritual awakening and the enlightened state. There's a lot of steps to progress, and I'm really trying consciously not to come from it from a very spiritual, vibrational level, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that really don't understand this stuff. You know, some people even haven't started to meditate or you know, use spiritual techniques. So I'm really conscious that I want to try and keep one foot in and one foot out, you know, sort of reach my hand out to people. So my fingertips are there to touch if they wanted it, you know, to help them see where the door is. I couldn't actually ever walk through any door. For somebody to see what's on the other side, they have to do that for themselves. And this is very much what this whole good enough stuff that eventually will sort of come out from all this is going to be all about. So that was an interesting conversation this morning, and it will be really funny to see if she does ring me later on and say, oh, that's what it is, I get that now. And I just realised I've got mascara. I'm doing it myself, you know, I'm looking at myself in the camera there right now, which is really quite bizarre, and I've got mascara, you know, so I need to go and wash that off. So I'll go and change that, because I've seen that and I don't particularly like that aspect, that big black dot on my eye. But this is being real, you know, this is human error. This is about being real, and regardless of who the real you is, there's good aspects as well as bad aspects, and that's what makes you you. And the bad aspects you can look at, you can accept, and you can change. But it's in the knowing. If you know it's there, then you can do something with it. If you're unaware that it's there and it's causing you to sort of be in situations where this particular thing, you know, this overexcited thing keeps occurring and, you know, really does frustrate you, you need to maybe look at that overexcited aspect of yourself. Where in your experiences has that been sort of undermined or been sort of pushed into a corner and repressed, you know? So it is the key to it is just seeing every interaction as a double-sided mirror, you know, because there is something somebody will teach you about yourself, and there is something that you can teach somebody else about their self. So it is very much a double-sided sort of mirror, and when you really do have a emotional reaction to something, use that emotion as a tool really to sort of say, light bulbs come on, you know. It's like maybe I need to address this, maybe I need to look at this within myself. I will warn you all, it can be really quite upsetting for some to see the darker side of themselves, and for others, you know, because it won't be so upsetting. They may sort of retract back into other things or look for something else rather than sort of facing exactly where they are at that particular time. But everybody's at a different sort of level, because everybody's individual, everybody's unique with where they are in their life progression, and they're on their life path. So I think that's basically what has happened so far this morning. Like I said, I'm going out for Sunday lunch now to spend some time with my family and share the love, you know, and sort of catch up with where we've all been at this last sort of week or more that we haven't seen each other. So that's going to be very nice today. I might even sort of pop up and see a few friends. So today is going to be about sort of being around people, you know, when I've cut myself off this last few days, which is something I'm terrible to do. But I've always done that, you know, I've always done that. When I become overwhelmed with the human existence and the reality of life, you know, or my perceived reality of life, I have always had to have this reclusive me time, you know. I've had to shut the door and shut the curtains and shut my phone off and sometimes it's impossible for people to reach me. If I don't want to be reached, I will not be allowed. I won't allow myself to sort of be reached by people unless I'm in that emotional state or vibrational state where I can cope with all the negative vibrations or the sort of happy even vibrations, you know, because sometimes I can find that really happy, ecstatic vibration quite overwhelming, which is something I'm hoping will adjust now that I've sort of come out about where I am on a very spiritual awakening progression, and how I've sort of already in that good enough place where the blacks of me, the whites of me are all of me, you know, warts and all, you know, because there isn't such a thing as perfection. Nobody is more than, you know, nobody on the planet is more than the next. So, you know, I'm hoping that that happy, overly happy, excited place that I can sometimes attract to myself, or be in a situation where that occurs, or that really angry, conflicting, emotional, very, very sad, very hurt inner child will come out with interactions, you know, which is mostly about them, because my inner child is very much healed now. So hopefully I won't have to sort of lock myself away to sort of be in this vibrational energy, which has been comfortable for me for all these years that I've contained in my little box, you know, that I contained myself in all these years. So maybe I'll start being a little bit more comfortable around people's different vibrational energies now. It's going to be an interesting sort of thing to watch for myself, you know, how I am sort of going to interact with people now that I've put myself in this position where I've taken the lid off, you know, hey ho, this is Vicky, you know, like me, love me, hate me, hey ho, you know, it's something you can learn from that even in itself. So I'm looking forward to that, and there isn't any apprehension around how it's going to impact my interactions, because I'm ready. I am totally and utterly ready from the core of me to sort of deal with all this stuff and try and implement the step that the amazing spiritual teachers are reaching. But I think they've gone too far, you know. Yes, there is a vast amount of people on the planet that are getting it now, but then there's those that, you know, sort of on the very low, very dark, negative vibrational energy, you know, where I work with, or even in some of my social circles, that haven't even learnt how to love other people, let alone love themselves. So they don't even know that they've got that ability, you know, to truly feel that, and they just live in this constant state of turmoil. But like I said, I'm ready now, and I am really quite hungry now. What is the time? Oh, it's nearly 1 o'clock. And I said I'd meet them at 1 o'clock. So I really need to shift now and move myself. I may not actually I won't have time to actually upload this now, but I will definitely upload it when I come back later on today, or possibly this evening. But all I want to say to you, you're good enough. Every single one of us is good enough and has something amazing to offer. And be happy and have a good day. Take care.